And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Go ahead and say it, Ed. Go Dragons!
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
You like that? You like that?
F it. Jamar's down there somewhere.
The New Orleans Saints select Marcus Davenport.
No!
Splash Brothers. Yeah.
It's playoff. Keep going, Brace.
The playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
And give us a space to chat about it. We decided it needed its own show. So tough loss Sunday. Florida State came and
I said the other night, don't panic if we lose.
That's right. And I told you I wouldn't be surprised if we lost. That's okay.
Yeah.
And I think the way that we lost, it was just sloppy.
Yeah.
I think the play calling in the first half didn't necessarily help out our weakness on offense, which is our offensive line. I don't think that we spread the ball around to the best part of our offense, which is our receiver group.
Best part of the whole thing.
Love. Yep. I think we got away on them early and often. And shout out to Daniels who played a heck of a game. Rushed the ball incredibly well. Passed the ball well when he was given the opportunity. And then of course we lost a big name on the first drive on defense. Lost 10 for the season. That hurts. And then, of course, the story of the game was special teams, man.
Yeah. In many aspects.
So talk about it, Peyton.
Well, so when Kelly got hired, he was cleaning house, obviously. And a couple of coaches I wouldn't have minded that he kept. Now, he kept Brad Davis, offensive line coach. I was a big fan of. Baton Rouge guy, recruits, Louisiana well-known in the coaches circle as one of the best offensive line coaches in the country. Granted, he's going to have time. He's going to take time to get this offensive line like we want it. Also, I wanted Greg McMahon, the special teams coach. I wanted them to keep him. He's probably in his mid-60s now. He's with the Saints for years. And as soon as he got let go there, he came to LSU. And we've not had special teams problems for, I think he's been there, was there 5 years, never had an issue.
Look at our kickers.
Brought Cole Tracy in. I mean, yeah, Cade York, we haven't had any issues. No missed snaps, it's been great. But he brought Brad Polian in, which was his only coach he brought from Notre Dame in, son of Bill Polian, former GM of the Colts. He brought him to be special teams coach and recruiting coordinator. And so a rough start for him last night, to say the least. I know Chance was arguing in the group message that it's not his fault, but in the end, it's still his fault. It's just like any other job. If the worker below the boss ain't doing what they're supposed to do, the boss above the boss is going to look at them, Neighbors, man. If after the first muff, I'm not sure. I think I would have pulled him. And I know I've heard some people today saying, well, you can't pull him after one. What's not getting talked about is he was muffing them in scrimmages at practice this fall. He just muffed a couple in a scrimmage 2 weeks ago. So, you've done seen him muff one in the game. It's probably time to try somebody else second time around.
And I think on that issue, if you got a guy, because everybody's going to muff kicks.
Yes.
Patrick Peterson muffed kicks.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham Jr. muffed kicks.
That's right.
Tyreek Hill's going to muff a kick. It's going to happen, but it can't happen twice in a row.
No.
If that second time it happens, it's mental.
Yeah, absolutely.
And after that, you got to jerk them.
And I mean, you're muffing them on.
But
you're muffing them on
scrimmages.
In scrimmages.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it's one thing if you muff them and you're not fair catching, you're trying to run after it, but it's a fair catch. You're not getting hit. Like there should be no nerves there. And it's obviously it's in his head. Thank God it's not affecting his receiving ability because he's still catching it there.
No, and hands,
kudos,
off to him because on that drive, that 99-yard drive, the first 2 receptions went to him. So they fed it to him, which gave him his confidence.
Right.
In
the block kick, which I said on the pod Sunday night before the game, I was like, I thought we're gonna miss the extra point. Granted, it doesn't count as an extra point miss on stat lines, but in my opinion, a missed kick, a bad snap, a missed block is still a missed extra point. I mean, in the end, I'm not a fan of having a true freshman over there on the left side. Now, granted, it's not rocket science over there. I mean, he's been.
You squeeze, you block inside out. I mean, and look, I've known that since junior high school. It's taught to us early. The only job I had as a freshman on varsity was the up, back, and punt, but that was the most important thing. Don't move backwards and block inside out. That's all I had. That's all you do. I don't know what happened. The guy that blocked it was 6'6" or 6'7".
Yeah.
But the kid never had a chance. So it was like,
no,
he's 3 feet off the ground and blocked it.
Yeah. I mean, he almost took the ball out of the holding position, really. When I look back, I went back and watched both of the blocks, put them in slow-mo on the DVR. Like I was really trying to figure out the first one.
Peyton's watching film over here.
I'm watching some film, guys. I do go. I love, especially when we win. I really watch them. I watch them over and over again. But I hadn't watched the game last night over again. Cam Wire is the one that whiffed on the first kick that was blocked, the field goal that was blocked in the first half. I'm not really sure. He just whiffed. I mean, he didn't block nobody. He just stood there. Mason Taylor did his job on that one. But the extra point, even if he went inside, I'm not sure it still wouldn't get blocked. He had 3 guys he was trying to block. 2 were coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know if he went inside, if it wouldn't get blocked when I watched it again in slow-mo.
Yeah. So on that, I mean, somebody on the line has got a slide protection to the overloaded side.
Yeah. Well, they overloaded you in the first half when you got blocked, and we didn't adjust. Like now, granted, hindsight's 2020. I'm always the type philosophy. We weren't supposed to win that. Never should have even had the ball again. I say you go for 2 anyway.
Yeah,
had the momentum. You had
playing with house money.
Yeah, Florida State was reeling. I mean, like I don't really see them stopping us at that point. I mean, because in the end, win or lose that game, I'm still having the same worries that I had. I'm probably not really much more happier because I'm like, my God, we just won that and wasn't impressive. I still have a lot of negatives coming out of it. Of course, a win would have been great to have, but Florida State's not that good.
No.
I think they're going to probably be with us that 7-win mark area. I mean, 7's going to be a little tougher now to get to because I projected 8-4 for the season. I think 7 still can happen. But I really think I think Florida State's not that good either.
So what unit do you want to cover next? Offense or special or defense? Because I mean, we can talk about issues. Okay, so offense, the glaring issue, especially in that first half, was the O-line.
O-line, and in my opinion, the right side of the line.
Okay.
Campbell had some misses, but also Campbell manhandled some guys sometimes too. I don't know if you noticed that number 5 that was whipping Campbell early. You noticed he switched over on the other defensive end in that second half, didn't you?
Oh, I didn't know.
That's why Cam Wire was getting whipped over there.
Okay.
Because Campbell finally was getting comfortable. I think he had to get his feet wet. My God, he was that's a true freshman there. That right side with Cam Wire and Anthony Bradford, I'm not real happy with right now. Especially Cam Wire. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't pull Cam Wire, pull Frazier from left guard to right tackle, and put Shorts at left guard, give Shorts a chance to go at it. Because I'm telling you, when Wire got whipped on that 3-man rush in the final minute of the drive, we had to take that sack at the 50. I mean, that's a bad look there, but and he's
this
already.
Is not an SEC. It's not an SEC opponent we're getting whipped by either.
No. Now, Florida State got a decent D line. I mean, they're not bad at that position, but that offensive line. But what really, I guess, made me mad though is the first half play calling was not anything to help the offensive line out at all. 5-step drops. I mean, he got time to make all those reads back there. I mean, hurry it up, RPO it, get the ball out quick, just like they did in the second half. It was nice.
It felt like LSU prior to Burrow's arrival, where we just had an identity crisis.
Yeah,
it was like we had all these weapons and we just didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah,
I mean, check out Jarvis Landry and OBJ. In their time at LSU, they were monsters, but I don't know. They probably could have done a lot better had we really had an offense and an identity. Now, of course, we saw an uptick in the second half, but how much of that was, on that one drive where Florida State's playing prevent?
Yeah.
And
they're giving us the out of bounds boundaries. Did not get that at all. They were letting us have those.
That felt like a Sean Payton move by Florida State because Saints are notorious for that.
Yes.
End of the game, letting people move down the field in chunks. I'm more of a fan of taking some gambles and going with what works.
Yeah,
putting some pressure on the quarterback. Speaking of, they got a sack with 3 guys. Great impressive.
That's the one I'm talking about. That was on Cam Wire.
Yeah.
I mean,
can't happen.
You can't have that. Like, what are you doing? And you had a running back there. You had 6 blockers versus 3.
And they got to him. Yeah.
And they got to him. And to a athletic running quarterback. It's not Miles Brennan sitting back here. No, I was not happy. I was aggravated in the first half. It's just we never got running or throwing established in the first half offensively. I don't know if they really miss John Emery that much, and I think maybe when he gets back after week 2, there might be some more identity at the running game. It felt like Kane and Goodwin and Josh Williams were just kind of like, all right, Daniels is going to be our leading rusher here. Y'all are just going to get so many carries, just see what y'all can do with them type deal. Never felt like they really trusted Noah Kane to be just the bell cow back there. And so I don't know if bringing John Emery back maybe helped that some because we didn't try to establish the run at all in the first half.
So, my thing is, if you're not going to do that, then feed those monsters at wideout.
And you got to get – I know Butte's mannerisms were bad, didn't look – in the first couple of drives, drawing the man some plays up. I mean, find a way to get him the ball, run some jet sweep, something, get him involved in the game early, so he's ready to go. I would have loved to see us do some jet sweeps with anybody just to help our offensive line out, get them on the outside. The play calling was very subpar in my opinion in the first half. I was not a fan at all. I mean, Jack Besh made a catch there on the final drive or in the fourth quarter, and I'm like, freak, has he even been on the field all game? You hadn't heard about him or mentioned him or anything. The bright spot probably of the night, other than Daniels running the ball, is the freshman Mason Taylor. I mean, yeah, he whiffed on a block on the extra point, but man, he looks good. I mean,
how about him getting out of bounds? He didn't get out of bounds. Yeah, he was trying to get out.
Yeah, he could have turned upfield and tried to go further, but it was a smart play. I mean, they even showed in the replay. He looks up at the time as soon as he hit the ground. Like, man, it's a heads up play by a true freshman there.
Yeah. We're excited about him.
Yeah.
Now, Colin Cowherd is giving his aunt her own show, so unfortunately, we won't be hearing about LSU football very much on the herd.
Dang, I didn't see that. Really?
Yeah, I just saw that today. I was like, well, Colin just ain't gonna talk LSU football.
No, he used to love LSU football. He used to mention them all the time. God, I didn't know she was getting her own show. Yeah, that won't get brought up for sure. But man, that was he's a monster. He's going to be really good for us, and he's going to get used a lot because Kelly's offense is always going to have tight ends getting used. But I mean, other than that, Neighbors didn't really get going either. Brian Thomas had a kind of quietly good game, I thought. Made some big catches. He has that part, man. He just looked like he's an NFL receiver.
He had some yardage, didn't he?
Yeah.
Let me pull up the box. But I felt like he
picked up some yardage at the end on that last drive that helped him.
Okay.
That helped his numbers go up. He had I got it right here. He had 44 yards, 5 catches. But I mean, the main man is my Gina boy, Dre Jenkins. I mean, he scored the last 2 touchdowns.
5 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Yep, there you go.
The last 2. I mean, he's just Mr. Reliable, Mr. Steady. They're always going to go to him in big moments. He just doesn't let you down.
And Butte is going to have to chill out, man. I know he's frustrated, and everybody knows why, but you can't show it.
No, man, what was he doing in the end zone? He hit him in the freaking 7. Like he never even turned his head. Like I don't know if it was a miscommunication, if he didn't think he was going to get the ball looked at getting thrown there, or what. But I mean, God, he was right open.
Yeah,
turn around and catch the ball. So yeah, I'm hoping Booty. I know people are freaking out because of his social media and stuff, but I mean, him and Malik Neighbors, there were multiple ones that did all of that because of all the threats and stuff. Sad world that we're in now.
And guys, if you're listening, like, don't do that. Like, that honestly, I wish they would prosecute people for that. You know, you don't get to harass people just because they're on TV.
No,
you know,
I wish there was some way that they could have settings in there where they don't have to. You know, that I get stuff gets ejected, you know, from them. I hate they have to deal with that crap.
I think they can turn off their DMs and stuff, but they can still get stuff like on their wall. And
well, yeah, they tag them in it and stuff like that. But yeah, I think he's fine. He can't go nowhere. He's not Jamar Chase, not Derek Stingley. You don't have enough skins on the wall to just sit out the rest of the year. He's got to prove himself. And so he's not going to sit out. Yeah, I think he's fine. He can't transfer. Obviously, he's going after this year anyways. So, I think he'll be fine. I can't stand the people that are trying to call for nuts already. Like they're not. Daniels did everything he could. He was running for his life.
That's a great game.
Yeah, I mean, now I am going to say though he did leave the pocket probably a little early some. But my gosh, that was his MO at Arizona State. His OC actually said that a while back. He said problem with his legs are so good, he will try to, after one read or so, try to bolt out. But I think he was so scared last night. I mean, I think he knew they were coming eventually. And
he wasn't wrong.
No, absolutely not. No, if it wasn't for his legs, our total yards. We had
114 on the ground.
He had 114, and that was he was sacked 4 times. So
there you go.
He probably even had more than that. I mean, we had 348 total yards. We probably wouldn't even have 250 if it wasn't for his legs last night.
Mm-hmm.
But so he's going to be good. I better not say that yet. But I was going to say something, but I'm not going to down him any right now. Let's talk defense. Because
can't get off the field. You know,
I mean, God, 11 for 17 on third down? 11 for 17. Florida State converted on third down.
You would think Drew Brees and 15 Saints were out there.
I know.
Couldn't get on third down.
And I'm not a fan of soft zone defenses. Why are we giving? Why is our corners giving 8 yards?
They don't need to. They're freaks.
Yeah, and Converse and Richardson weren't the problems. I thought the quarterbacks played well. I thought they covered well. I thought they were. And when you're all new guys back there, do we really want to do all that zone stuff? I mean, that's a lot of communication. Them guys got to be comfortable playing with each other. I don't think we're ready for all that yet, man. Just let them man up and go. I was really disappointed. Not necessarily defensive line, and people have said that they have been. I think Florida State had an excellent game plan on offense to keep our defensive line from not wrecking the game. I think they had some good trick plays. They ran a lot of jet sweeps side to sides, threw it out in the flats. I think they did a well job to get something we wish we would have done. Linebackers is where I'm disappointed in. I felt like we just the linebackers never made plays. They never stood out. I'm kind of already ready to see Harold Perkins in there some. I mean, let that kid give him a try. In the middle of the field, we got torched on every third down.
Pittman was killing us over the middle. I got tired of hearing his name.
I did too. No, I agree. I did too. I got really frustrated with that. But yet again, got to be patient. I mean, you're going all new coaching staff, all new players in that kind of environment. That's tough.
With that pedigree of the LSU name.
In New Orleans, like we played Southern last night, and you play Florida State Sunday night next week in the Dome. So I think you get a whole nother team, whole nother game.
I was going to say, the year that you really need a warm-up game, if any year, is this year.
Had been this year.
And we didn't – I mean, you could argue that Florida State probably should have been a warm-up game in years past, but, given how we had so much turnover, if we're better than Florida State, we're not much better.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, you bring in that many transfers, you bring in a whole new coaching staff. I mean, you brought everybody out of 10. You brought one of them was there from last year. I mean, that's a lot of turnover, man. A lot of communications, a lot of the coaches are learning how to coach with each other, getting comfortable what plays they like to run, win. And I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot. And in the end, we still had a chance to win.
And outside of that boneheaded pitch sweep call there at the Florida State's last offensive play, they really protected the ball. I mean, that was their only turnover.
Yeah, that was it.
Shout out to their quarterback. I mean, one thing LSU's always been known for is, their ball hawking defenders back there, and we weren't able to do it. Now, I don't think that we played a bad game, but the touchdown by Florida State, the first one, I mean, it took a flea flicker to do it.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't butthurt about that at all.
No, at all.
But
I want a double reverse flea flicker.
Yes, exactly. They pulled it out.
Yeah,
but their quarterback was mobile enough inside the pocket to buy himself a little time,
just
and
enough.
He just waited and waited until that something come across the middle usually, and he hit his man. So kudos to him. He played a good game, and they were the better team last night.
They were the better team. We got out coached. I think they had a little more energy than we did. I felt like we had the energy out the gate. That Mason Smith injury happened.
That's tough, man.
And then B.D. Argilleri next. You just kind of you saw him. I think it scared everybody. I know it scared me. I wanted to turn it off after that. Like I was like, oh, I can't watch this anymore.
To me, it felt like that fumbled snap a few years back when Peyton Manning and them lost in the Super Bowl with the Broncos.
Yeah,
that snap went over his head, and then it was just downhill after that. That's kind of when that happened. And I was on the road when those guys got hurt, and I was eating at a Slim Chickens in Arkansas in the parking lot, watching that go down, and I was like, "Man, here we go, here we go." It's not how I wanted to start the season.
And the crazy is Mason Smith literally blew up that offensive line on that play. That's why he was celebrating with his teammate, because the corner, I don't remember who it was at the time, made the tackle because he blew up that offensive lineman. He was in the backfield so fast. And I was like, God, I hate it for him. The kid, I think he was ready to break out this year, man. I hope he's not going to be one of those ones we're going to be saying, what if, after he leaves LSU, we just never got the full version of him. Because
I said he came back in tears.
Yeah, he did. It meant a lot to him, man. You could tell that it hurt. But no, I was trying. Jay Ward, man, give him a helmet sticker, man. Phenomenal game, all over the field. God, everywhere. Only time he made me mad is when he lowered his shoulder and didn't wrap up, missed a tackle on a big third down. But other than that, he played a phenomenal game, I thought.
How about that targeting call, that play?
Let me tell you, that would be in the textbook when they are teaching that in the offseason. That video of Allie Gay will be played. He did it in all three phases. He checked every box on that one.
What in the world, man?
That frustration. Just frustration. I think you just tell, I mean, but I'm so glad they don't have to leave the game now. I'm glad they can at least stay on the sidelines. I do like that. That was a good rule change. But no, as soon as he did that, I was like, oh yeah, he's out. A buddy of mine was at the game and he's texting me and he's like, that's bull. He hit him in the shoulder, right, shoulder pad. And I text back. I said, "Bro, he checked every box on that. That was the definition." They don't even need to watch the replay on this one. He's out. He's done. I mean, that was it. And I hated that, though, man, because we really needed him later in that game. That'd been nice to have. But Malik Wingo, number 92, came in for Mason Smith, and I thought played a good game. Stepped up well for him. The transfer out of Missouri. I was very impressed with him. Another knock that I don't want to say this, but it felt like Les Miles. Right before half, change of possession. We got a timeout left. We got ball with about a minute left. We use a timeout on a change of possession. That should never happen in any level of football. Ever. Like, why are we changing time on a timeout after a change of possession? And I mean, the drive was just dead after that. That's Les Miles kind of stuff right there, which I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a pass because I think that's just some of the communication.
You got to.
It's not quite all there yet, but I don't.
And look,
I don't want to see that anymore.
And look, I've been telling everybody since the game. I said, look, man. Nick Saban lost to ULM early on at Bama. So
correct me if I'm wrong. Did he only win 6 games that year too?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, so and
I think he won enough to come back and play. That was that a bowl game?
No, that was a regular season game with ULM.
I think he come back and play a bowl game in Shreveport.
Played in Independence Stadium. Yeah, they were 6-6. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because remember, that's when ULM put the billboard up.
That's
they
right.
knew that Bama was going to be coming through Monroe.
And hey, man, it took us an hour to set up this podcast today, fooling with Zoom and our mics and our computers. So, I mean, Brian Kelly started from ground zero, nothing.
Zero.
I mean, yeah, scorched earth, like came in and built from the ground up. He's going to be fine. LSU's going to be fine.
Yeah.
The only real criticism I have is the way that he blasted Mr. Muffed punts today.
Wayne Neighbors?
Yeah, he blasted him in front of the media.
I'm not mad at it.
You're good with it?
I'm good with it. Did you see my text earlier?
I must have missed it among the bunch.
Hold on. Let me
Let me tell you, you look that up and I'll tell you why I worry. I worry about that locker room. He's not playing with these, high score on your ACT kids from Notre Dame, that can. I mean, these guys, you got to kind of,
All right, let me read this. This is he was asked about Malik Neighbors, and I think it was the question exactly was explain about Malik Neighbors on special teams. And so he says you evaluate him through 4 weeks of practice and you feel comfortable that with his elite skill set and his mindset that he's going to be able to do a great job. And that wasn't the case. That was a mistake that we made. Well, so that guy tweets that. Well, here a little later when you scroll down, he finishes the quote that Brian Kelly says on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the quote continues. He wants to do it, and we all have to reevaluate that situation. He's a great kid. We didn't lose the game because he dropped those 2 punts. We miraculously were able to overcome those. You usually wouldn't, but that was on us. But we did overcome.
Well, there's the context there that matters.
Yeah, exactly. So it was clickbait material, in my opinion, for that Jeff Nowak tweeted. And hey, reason I don't have a problem with it, we have a coach for the first time in 20 years that's going to hold some kids accountable to something. We haven't had that.
We need that.
I mean, we need that. We need structure in that locker room. Needed people to be held accountable. And look, Malik cared. Like, I mean, he didn't want. I mean, he came back in that final drive and made 2 catches for us. So, like, I mean, I don't think he's. I don't think he.
They fed him the ball quickly after that. So.
They did. So I like BK stepped up there and kind of said, look, he messed up. He knows he did. He's a good kid. He's a good athlete. We know he can do it, but we might this week in practice give somebody else a try, which I think is going to be Sage Ryan.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
give him an opportunity. Let that athleticism go.
2. Let's try it. Yeah. Seven Smith didn't dress out last night. He's still a little nicked up. He also has some chance to get that position back there too if he comes back. So I'm fine with that. And let Malik run kickoffs back. That's fine. Maybe punt returns. Because that's a mental thing, man. It's kind of like missing the 3-foot putt. Missing the 3-foot putt, it starts getting your head. This is the same thing. So
that's right.
I'm okay with changing it up a little bit, putting somebody back there.
They got plenty of athletes on the field.
Plenty of freaking athletes. I wouldn't mind trying Butte, giving him a little more extra time to give him
some more touches. Yeah, that's what he wants.
Exactly. So I'm okay with that. So yeah, I'm okay with. I mean, yes, I want to win, but guys, it's just going to take a little while. We're not going to be
This is the definition of rebuilding.
Yes, that's exactly right. And we needed it. I mean, we have been a bad football program for the last 2 years. Terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was time. We needed this. And
how do you go from greatest program in the history of college sports 1 year to that? I'll never know.
Right.
Coach O. I mean, you done it. How I don't know.
Appreciate it, bud. Yeah. And some of those memes last night were awesome with him. They used that picture with him laying up in the bed with that blonde.
The blonde, yeah.
There was some good memes on that with 17 million above his head, stuff like that. Yeah, but no, I think we'll get kicked back on Southern this week. Get some rhythm, try some things, maybe switch some players around, and I feel like we're going to be okay now. And I haven't. There was one thing. So there was, I think, 6-7 guys that didn't dress last night. Some names that people wouldn't know, but one that I can't figure out, and nobody's brought it up. And matter of fact, I need to text Jordy Galata and ask him about it because nobody's talking about it. Is Joe Fauché, the DB from Arkansas that was the captain last year? He didn't dress last night. And when I read a little article, a little clipping, and something about he's suspended for the first 4 games because of a transfer rule.
Weird.
I mean, my God, they can transfer. I mean, it's wide open now. So I don't really understand what it's about. I'm gonna text him tonight and ask him what that deal is, because I kept waiting for one of the guys down there in Baton Rouge to bring it up, and nobody did. There's so much else to talk about today, I guess, too. But I mean, that's a DB that's going to play for us. Like I don't know. He's not just a name. You know, he's going to get starting time probably some games. So
Yeah.
I want to find that out on him, why he didn't dress out. But no, I'm good with everything. I'm not. I'm actually, I sat in the recliner last night after the game, and I was like, it's gonna be okay. Like I'm gonna be sitting. Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting here in the same spot in the next probably 2 years, and we're probably gonna be a contending national championship type team in a couple of years. Like,
and the craziness that transpired at the end, the roller coaster ride that I got put on. My wife posted, you know, I just heard my husband shout from the other end of the house, like LSU must have done something good, you know, and I know it was a loss, and I know it was not a good game, but I'm just glad college football's back, man.
you dang right.
I've got an LSU troll that posts on my post all the time. Shout out to KP Cornelius Palmer. He's a nurse I used to work with. He's got kids, get a school through Jonesboro. His wife is a teacher there. Good guy, mean barbecue, and but he's a Bama fan. Right. So, of course, he posted "Go Tigers" under my post, and I responded back. I said, "Hey, when KP's trolling on my post, all I can do is thank the Lord that football's back."
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Shout out, KP. You know, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
And I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
It may be a rebuilding year, but it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be. By the end of the year, this team will be a completely different team, but than what we watched last night, and I really believe that.
Nowhere to go but up.
Nowhere to go but up. I mean, Brian Kelly said it in his interview coming out of the locker room. We can't play any worse. Yeah. We just played. I mean, we cannot play any worse, and I agree with him. We couldn't. I mean, the only done by 4 at halftime was a miracle, and just shows you that Florida State's not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to get better, but we will.
We will. And I think I wouldn't want to be at practice this week. I'll put it that way, though.
Well, next week we'll be talking about the upcoming win, I'm sure, against Southern. Won't have as much to talk about, which is cool because we're actually going to be talking Saints.
Who dat?
Well. So we're going to have to shorten up the length on the LSU talk. But
the hard ones SEC starts.
Oh, I know. We got to squeeze the Saints in there too, though. So no Saints talk, but we'll be talking them next week this time. So
hey, Trevor Penning could be back in November. That came out.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Excited to see it.
Things are there. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a left tackle.
Maybe Campbell could drive down to New Orleans for us.
Double time, huh?
Yeah. Maybe
Devil to LSU. There you go. All right, bro. That's about it, man.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah. This has been fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and be sure to tune in next week. Peyton, not to put any pressure on you, but this could be one of our more popular podcasts. Just because where we live.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to encourage people to tune in. And for all you Tech fans out there, don't worry. Tech is getting its own podcast too. Hopefully we'll have one for you the next day. Mm-hmm. We got some things in the works to do Tech Talk every week. So we're not leaving out our Bulldogs. My God, most of us are Tech alumni. But yeah, we definitely needed a show for Saints and LSU. So
that's right, absolutely.
All right, man.
All right, go Tigers.
You got anything else?
That's it.
Go Tigers.